we'd like to sincerely thank our Patreon supporters.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? Kagan and I are outside behind the cages, and you know, we always talk about how hard it is to keep up with the construction, maintenance of everything, and create content. And we were rushing to get another video done, but it needs approval by somebody. It was an e-bike video that we're taking down to the Everglades. Shot the film yesterday. Thought it was gonna be our next video, but it actually needs like 3 days approval or something. So I think that's gonna get pushed on till next week. So we had to shoot another video. We had the idea of showing you guys what the regular maintenance is on some of these enclosures, and then it poured last night, and then it poured again today. It's 4:30 in the afternoon, and we're just getting outside where we can get this video shot. The yard is full of water. It's the chickens are standing in water. The cages are probably full of water. The swale is running like a stream right now, trying to drain all the water off. This will all be gone tomorrow, but it doesn't change the fact that this is what we're doing today, and all the water is here. Now, I've said in the past that I use an electric weed whacker for doing the enclosures with the animals because it disturbs them less. I actually want to show you guys. I'm talking, and you guys just watched the video with Gypsy coming here. This is actually really cool shot. The male Bivitatus, who's quite a big monitor, very long, is laying on his log there. He's side-eyeing me. And just on the other side of the screen is Gypsy on her log right next to him. Hopefully you guys can see that. I'll try and take this shot through the screen. I know I promised way back that I wasn't going to do that. Gypsy's laying right next to him. And I think I said in that video how the presence of another monitor has something to do with calming them down. That actually might have something to do with something else. She might be interested in that man. But the enclosures, the grass, I think I had to cut the grass every 5 days right now. We got some of the enclosures last time, but I skipped some enclosures last time, and the grass is super tall. Some of them, it's not a problem. I think I got this row done last time, and it's not that bad. But the other side with the black throats, it is a mess. So, you know, some of that stuff's a little over a foot tall, and but on the other side, we're talking 18 inches, 2 foot tall of weeds. Wow, Forrest and Lily, a lot of interest there. You know, all this rain gets all the water monitors moving about. They love it. I think Kagan's gonna go and start getting the hasps off the enclosures for me. So as I weed whack, I can go in from one to the other. But right now, it's not just the finished enclosures. It's also hallway 2, which doesn't have the weed blocker and gravel yet. I know it's a hot, wet mess right now. We're pretty close to pouring this threshold and getting the plumbing done and the rock in here. I do want to do it pretty soon. But these last 2 enclosures, they have the mountain of dirt in there, and it's full of weeds. And this row, where we moved the dirt in already, all this has to be weed whacked. It's a lot of, remember, 3,800 square footage and square feet, and it all has to be weed whacked all around the corners, around the plants. It's quite a bit. Well, you know what? I'm saying that including the chicken coop area, and that doesn't need to be weed whacked. They ate every ounce of grass out of there. So she's getting the hasps off, and after I weed whack, then this will show you how tall it is. I know some people were saying to kind of let it go. Onyx is side-eyeing me. Not in a bad way. He's checking for food is what he's doing. He's always pretty good to eat, but I mean, this is how tall it is. And I've said before, you know, like that's almost 2 foot tall. The higher grass and weeds in here also gives the mosquitoes a place to hide. So we want to eliminate all that. Keep it short, keep it clean, and then keep the grass spreading. But yeah, there's Onyx on his shelf. Hey, big boy. He's looking good. Nice black throat. I need to get started. You've unlocked a bunch of the enclosures. I can hit the hallway, and Kagan's gonna check in on them. There you go.
Bobby.
He seems to be enjoying that. Handsome boy. Getting bigger. I'm gonna get started because we don't have that much time until dark. Oh, and the other thing I was gonna say, the waters, but I have to weed whack first because as I weed whack, the grass gets thrown in there. So it's better to have that done, and then dumping all these waters is going to add more water to the enclosures. So it's awesome. That's a secondary reason why it's better to do that second. So,
And that's only 2 days.
yeah, 2 days, poop, sperm plugs, all sorts of good stuff. Today is literally the day after we sold the male Bivitatis. And you know, a lot of animals, as they get older, they get lighter. Now, he was a very dark monitor young, but he had 2 clean shoulder stripes. And so I noticed that he was a Bivitatis. He was not labeled as one when I purchased him. And he's getting lighter and lighter and more yellow. And if he'll let me get a good shot of him, I tried to get him through the screen a little bit earlier in this video, but he's almost looking like a sulfur. And I think he will fully look like a sulfur as he gets older. But he is becoming a more naturally curious lizard. But you guys can see how yellow he is underneath. All of his tail stripes are starting to, the black is going away. It's more and more yellow. Now he has those solid shoulder stripes that do have decent black bands, but he is very yellow. His face would be more yellow, but I see all the mud staining on it. He's only halfway through his shed. And you guys can see by the way he's looking at me. He doesn't trust me, not fully. And he doesn't have to. He's going to a new home in, well, I guess like a month and a half, right? 5 more weeks. So, a little bit. But he's a handsome animal for sure. I've always loved him. Actually, out of all the 14 in that group, he's the only one I held on to.
From that initial import group.
Yeah. He is a cool animal and naturally curious. He definitely has the ability to become a tame animal. Walking in Alexander's enclosure, and you'll get to see how I have to work around some of these guys. They get curious when you're weed whacking. It's all movement. Some of them get annoyed by the plants flinging around, but a lot of them get curious about it. Have to go around them. What are you gonna do, Alexander? Are you gonna move for me today or what? There you go. This little swimming pool he's made in the back. He'll move forward and give me a little space. You looking good, buddy. Not too heavy, just right. his, and usually I try to get their food tray out of here while I'm in here. Where are you going? This is the back door shut?
No, I'm just gonna turn him around. This is you?
No! I was going exploring.
So we've just finished up weed whacking the enclosures around Miss Pinky here, but Pinky is hanging out right at the door. So we're gonna wait to come back to her when she is not right there in the way. But what I can do is come in and grab this food tray. Don't wanna mistake me. Oh my goodness, where are you going? I'm gonna grab this. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Where do you think you're going? She wants to come out so bad.
Going into Onyx's. He's definitely one that gets curious. See, he's looking at the weed whacker. Is it food? That's hilarious. His eye follows it. He really wants to know if it's food. It's not food, bub. You definitely saw where it was important to keep an eye on what I'm weed whacking and the animal, because I would have got belted there if I wasn't paying attention. So now that I've finished the enclosures, now I have to do the empty enclosures on this side, the 2 remaining in row 3, and all of this has to be weed whacked.
So while Jerry continues to weed whack around the property and just do lawn maintenance because the grass grows back so fast, we're having to do that so often right now in the raining season, I'm going to go through and start on waters for these animals. Most of them, because it's so late in the day, are in their hides or just kind of relaxing. When it's earlier in the day and I go through and do their waters, sometimes they like to jump in the puddle that it makes and kind of have fun with it or just explore what I'm doing. I bet Alexander will be one of the ones that wants to come out and check out what I'm doing as I'm changing his water. But and Onyx is another one that usually likes to hang out in the water. But we might not see a whole lot of action from the lizards as I'm changing their waters. And it typically takes about an hour and a half to go through and fully change their waters. Starting right now, it is 5:51. So we'll see how long it takes to go through and do everybody's. So as I'm out here doing waters, I notice this very strange guy. This is a mole cricket? Oh my gosh, come here. They are so funky looking. They actually burrow into the mud.
So while Kagan is in rows 3 and 4 doing the waters, I'm gonna jump into row 1 and 2 and start over here. It's a lot easier since the plumbing's in place. I can do multiples at the same time. So I'm gonna dump his out, rinse it out, and start filling it up. Forest water is all done, and if he wasn't so busy with Miss Lily right here, he'd probably already be in it. Alexander's always the biggest nut when it comes to water changes. Usually as you're filling it, he's swimming in it and trying to knock it over and everything. In fact, I think I've unofficially decided when we do build the bigger swim areas, he is going to have to be first on the list, because I think he loves water more than any of them. With Forrest being the close second, but this guy is definitely in his water the most. Right now he's choosing the dirty water on the side. You gonna go in here, bud? Maybe it's colder. What are you doing? loving my shoes. He's sprawling out in that mud water. He loves it. It's always a fun time for them. So while Alexander is playing and this water is filling up, the reason for our giant rush, I mean, obviously we could possibly wait till tomorrow with better weather. We're going to Daytona this weekend. Well, this will actually be Sunday's video, so we'll be home from Daytona. But this week has been a rush of hanging security cameras. We had 6 cameras donated to us by Kevin at KG Constrictors. He actually brought Kagan another snake, another boa, which will feature in another video coming up. Check in on Kagan's snakes and then show this new boa and the old boa and give you guys an update on how it's doing. I think it's out of quarantine. Yeah. So is that the male sulfur over there? Is that Conan?
It is Conan.
Oh. And she's looking kind of thick. That's kind of nice. So we are rushing to get everything done. We got all of our other security cameras working. So right now we're having 2 different systems. My end goal is to have 3 different security systems just in case one gets hacked. You always have a backup. You always have, I think it's just the smart way to do it. And obviously the Enclosure cameras will be one of those brands, and they'll be for the purpose of monitoring the females and the males' behavior together, as well as security. But yeah, so we're going to Daytona, and then the day after that, we have the whole crew from Ship Your Reptiles coming over, checking in on our animals, and then we'll be going to Iguanaland. So we're gonna be out of town for 2 days, back in town for a couple hours just to check in on the animals, feed them, clean up again, and back out of town for a day. So we, a lot to do, a lot to get done. Just ran out of battery on the other camera, but I will also correct myself. My mom will be here Monday. She's gonna do waters on Monday. That way, when we get back from Iguanaland, everything will be clean. But we did want everything weed whacked and everything, so when they come and do the tour, 1, it won't be holding mosquitoes, and 2, it'll just in general look better. So we're rushing to get ready for all that. All right, so that only took us 2 hours. Not bad at all, right? 2 hours, but we also didn't do any of the driveway enclosures. Those were done yesterday morning. So that would probably take another 30 minutes or something like that. And the waters are, some of them are daily or every other day. So it's quite a big commitment to have that many animals. If you don't have the kind of time, don't buy so many. That's my advice. You have anything to add? You're like, yeah, don't buy as many. All right, guys, we're very excited about the show. We'll obviously have a video coming out from it. I think we're going to bring a couple albinos that will be at someone's booth. So that's going to be exciting. Amped Exotics. We'll feature him in the video, showing them there, and as well as some of his breeding projects that he's working on. So all is good. We're kind of happy. We're kind of excited to have 2 days off. I think we need it. All right, guys, until next time. Thanks for watching, everyone. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and ring the notification bell. See you soon.